People in the travel industry are calling summer flying a perfect storm.
Earlier, we talked with CBS senior travel advisor Peter Greenberg about summer travel woes. Peter, a lot of talk about this upcoming perfect storm. What are we talking about?
Well, it really is an upcoming perfect storm. We have a leadership vacuum at the FAA. Their acting administrator just stepped down. Air traffic controllers have already announced their staff shortages. They've asked the airlines to cut back on 10% of their flights in the Northeast this summer. We have the TSA already announcing because of the expected crowds, there'll be extended delays on their security checkpoint lines. We're just getting started because passenger demand, believe it or not, is not just back. This summer, it will exceed 2019 levels. And then it gets down to the airlines' scheduling, which they really haven't changed to benefit common sense. The airlines are still publishing schedules. The argument could be made that they know when they're publishing them that they can't support them. Anytime you see a 33-minute connect time between flights, you already know that's trouble.
Oh my gosh. So what else can they do besides adjust schedules to respond to this?
Well, they can not only just adjust schedules, it's the times of the day that they fly. Because what they're doing is they're flying fewer flights with larger planes into peak time hours at the airport. So if you're at the airport and it appears that the airport looks to be overcrowded, you're not lying. It is overcrowded. Airport lounges, there's like a line of 90 people to get into those VIP lounges. That defeats the purpose of joining the lounge in the first place. So the best thing people can do in terms of just trying to get through this is go back to the original advice of picking the first flight of the day. But one more very important thing, give yourself at least a 2.5-hour connect time between flights. Because if you've missed that first flight or the first flight's delayed or canceled, even if the airline wants to put you on another flight, that flight's already full. Let me give you an example. I'm down here in San Juan. I came down on a Delta Airlines 737. The planes are always full. You know that when you're flying out of Madison. The planes are always full. This plane had 180 passengers. And how long do you think it took to get off that plane? And I was sitting in the middle. How long do you think it took to get off that plane once the door to the plane was opened? I timed it. 23 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So if the airline is publishing a 33-minute connect schedule, you're never going to make it. So you've got to give yourself at least 2.5 hours this summer, or you'll be spending the summer in the rocking chair in Charlotte. And maybe that's not where you wanted to go.
So supply plus demand equals higher prices, I assume.
You assume correctly. Airline prices and hotel rates are near historic highs, and that doesn't count all the extra charges they're putting on. So this is a summer where you're going to have to find bargains. They're few and far between, but you can find them. There are still pop-up sales coming up with airlines like Avelo and Breeze, some of the new entrants, and then JetBlue and Southwest, Frontier. There are pop-up sales that you'll see online that may only last 36 hours, but they may be good throughout the rest of the year, including the summer. So you got to jump on those fast, because you get them now, they're still good. If you want to go overseas, those airfares are astronomical, but there's a way around that as well. It's called the train. Don't fly around Europe. Just get to one point in Europe, buy yourself your rail pass, and do the rest of the trip by train, or you will not be able to pay the bill.
Mortgage the house, I guess, to go on vacation.
So what are your top two places that you would suggest people to go to this summer without having to put a mortgage on the house?
Well, pick secondary and tertiary cities, not the usual suspects in Europe like Paris, London, and Rome. That's number one. And then rediscover America. Amtrak, and by the way, not the national parks, the state parks. There are so many great state parks in America that are not yet overcrowded, and they're not necessarily taking reservations. That's where you want to go. What we're seeing in the national parks right now, the usual suspects like Yosemite and Yellowstone, they're requiring reservations. Other national parks like Acadia and Glacier are requiring vehicle-timed reservations. So it's not just I'd like to come on a Tuesday. They can tell you you can come at 10 o'clock on Tuesday or 4 o'clock on Wednesday. That's not really, the best idea to do. Check out the state parks. You might be pleasantly surprised.
Or my backyard.
Yeah, we'll bring the tent there.
Or your backyard.
Peter, great.
I hear you're taking reservations.
I am. It's time, though, so get your time in early.